May I invite Prime Minister Lawrence Wong to deliver his remarks, please.
Prime Minister Anwar, Excellencies and distinguished guests, I'm very pleased to welcome Prime Minister Anwar and his delegation back to Singapore. I always value the engagements with him and our personal friendship because we are able to have candid and constructive discussions, and we both focus on what we can achieve together as close neighbors, good friends, and for the benefit of both our peoples. We've just exchanged MOUs on health cooperation and the fight against drugs, which will enable us to learn from one another in these areas of interest and strengthen the resilience of our societies. We have stepped up exchanges between our officials, including education and cultural exchanges. Importantly, this year we made very good progress on the Johor-Singapore Special Economic Zone. Singapore-based companies have committed over $5.5 billion in investments in the Johor-Singapore Special Economic Zone since January 2024. So we welcome the ratification of the SEZ agreement, and there is tremendous potential for this to grow further. We have only just begun. The potential is much greater going forward, especially with improved transport connectivity. And this will happen with the completion of the RTS link. We have signed a supplementary agreement to the RTS link bilateral agreement. This will facilitate preparations for co-located CIQ facilities and the eventual operationalization of the RTS.
Terima kasih Perdana Menteri Lawrence Wong dan perwakilan. As you notice, the strength of delegation from Deputy Prime Minister to Premier and Chief Ministers and Ministers reflect our not only our friendship, our enhanced bilateral relations and commitment. I've always make it a point to mention the spectacular example and success, not only a matter of economic arrangement, but it could only happen in terms of the Johor-Singapore Special Economic Zone because of the trust and the friendship. And I don't think this should be ignored or underestimated. This is, I repeat, unprecedented. And we have seen the initial results, which is startling, which of course will benefit Singapore, but more so in Malaysia. And I've said, due to this economic zone, for the first time in our history, Singapore has registered a phenomenal growth in terms of investments. Phenomenal increase in Johor that surpassed Penang. We are open to encourage more investments from Singapore, and Malaysia is a trading nation, as you know, and with all these uncertainties, it is critical that we enhance this sort of trade between countries and within ASEAN. And that is why this showcase of this economic zone can be a good example how countries can work together for the benefit of both the economies and the people.